Hello, Mark Crossfield. We've got Stephen Buzzer again. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
He's brought the beard. He's dropped the suit, but brought the beard. Everyone liked the suit in the live. Anyone who saw our live broadcast, he was the smartest man ever. He thought he'd come for a live broadcast on Sky, but he hadn't just rocked up at my house while I was eating apples. We're going to look at another swing sent through the app, through the golf app. This guy has certainly some issues with where he swings the club and how he uses the face.
Yep.
And maybe that's the root cause, is maybe a little bit to do with the way he's gripping the club, which we're going to talk about. Let's give him some help. Let's get stuck in. Right, Steve, see the swing here. First thing I see is quite a lot of prep, isn't there?
A lot of prep. He's certainly doing a lot of thinking.
I can keep going.
Paid by the minute.
Now, what I'm finding interesting, I don't mean to laugh at him. Thanks for sending the swing. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at my ridiculousness, really. I see a lot of people do this. A lot of prep. You know, shuffling, getting into position. The problem's in the grip before he starts. So he can shuffle all day long. It ain't going to work. He's going to almost have to swing the way he's swinging with the way he's holding it. So I see, from the way he swings, to me it looks like the club is going right through kind of like the middle parts of his hands, almost like a putter.
Yeah, right down the lifeline.
Yeah, absolutely, rather than getting down into the base of those fingers a bit more, kind of up here. Now, if I was to do, if you just model that club there, if I was to swing the way he, or grip it the way he's holding it, I would also start picking the club up more kind of vertically, kind of raising my vertical swing plane right up, because it's the only way I feel like I can hit it. If I put it down here and try and swing out to the ball, I feel like I'm always going to leave the face over there. So he's gone upwards, takes the club quite steep as it just flops under because his wrists just give up from that weaker grip position, and then he kind of drops the club on the ball, and then we see that follow through again, that just popping over the head. He's got to look at grip for me. He's got to get it in a different part of his hand to allow the club to start working this way with any kind of forces going through that shaft and out to that head. Got to get rid of, I mean, he's almost holding it like a putter.
I was going to say that, but you've got to ask yourself the question, why do we hold a putter like that?
Go on.
So we hold a putter like that, or I try to hold a putter like that.
Steve talking about putting is gold. Go on, Steve. Carry on.
But why would you do that with a putter? And it's because it stops you being able to do this.
Yeah.
So we know from a putt, we're trying to really work from the shoulders. So get a grip that neutralises this lower hands, forearms, means we're very consistent, for a fine motor skill. Also, the putter is the vertical. I mean, what's the lie of a putter? Exactly. Is it 80 degrees, or I think 81 is the most it can go up, or something? Whatever it is, 75. Post comments. What is the lie of a putter? I don't actually know the number. I think 75 or 80, is it? What, the lie of the head? No, the lie. 72? 70 to 72. Okay, great. Okay, so 72 degrees, very different to the lie of an iron. No, definitely. So obviously if the putter is lying up here, I would naturally put it through those parts of my palm without trying to get it in that lower part, would make no sense. And it also takes all the power out of it for me, lets me control the face, like you say, almost with my palms rather than putting any twist in. If he applies that to his full shots, yeah, or even stick with putting. If you think when you're like playing foursomes with Mark Crossfield and he's hit the green, but you're miles away because we're never in birdie country. I mean, if you've got a really long putt, do you mean all of a sudden it becomes harder that way? And it becomes uneasy. Yeah. And hence the reason we like the old chip and run. I mean, give it a little bit of that. So as soon
I've hit the green though. Remember, you wouldn't chip and run, would you? I've hit the green.
I might. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, back on task.
Go on. Up there.
So as soon as we're getting to here, you're going to want to go linear.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to add this rotation, and we want to add this rotation by this movement here. It's this little bit of wrist movement that neutralises the face. Yeah. That actually allows us to turn more. Yeah. So this actually locks us out. So you kind of. And look what it does to your wrists as well, doesn't it? Which is why we see that turning down in the club face. So for me, for this guy, and I see this a lot, if he's spending a lot of time shuffling into the correct setup, but he's cooked before he starts. He needs to get that grip, and I see that a lot. His grip, there's no right or wrong grips, okay, but his grip is not functional for hitting a shot as far as he would want to hit a ball. So he's trying to work out the right positions. Well, that is not a very functional position for you in the way you hold it. So I would kind of drop everything else,
watch some grip videos, get that grip in a different position, and then see how you function, see how you naturally start swinging the club differently. And you'll see how, if I just pop you there, Steve, I'm not saying ball position isn't important, but I can put a ball here off my left big toe and still hit target, and I can put one here right off the back of my foot, and I can still, if I got any kind of coordination today, hit target. They're different flights, but they both would function on a golf course as long as I understand what that's doing. But it's coming round some good connections to the club, where for him, spending all that time shuffling into his perfect position,
yeah, I understand,
missing point one there.
I understand though why he would feel a bit uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I agree. Would be changing the grip and then really feeling this waggle.
Yeah.
Really see, well, we're going to get this here, so then he's going to give himself a chance to then make a good turn.
Interesting with the waggle there as well that you say. I see this a lot. People who tend to waggle that way a lot.
Yeah.
Very easy done from this grip position. Right. If I go and put the club down in that lower part of the palm where he should get it, like I say, go and watch some grip videos, it'll give you more of an in-depth look at where it should be. Going that way feels quite uncomfortable. Going this way, waggling now, makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Where from up there where he's got it, waggling makes no sense to me, because it's kind of a collapse of my wrists and a flex of my wrist, which just feels so, if I was to hit anything with force with that, I feel like I'd do myself some damage. Watch some grip videos, get that grip sorted, get it in that lower part of the palm, think about the club moving more this way rather than this way, how you're doing it in that weaker part of your hand. I think you're going to hit some drastically different shots. Yeah. One quick thing I do with people when they're this way, I just get the club parallel to the ground. I've done this in videos, you watch some of my grip videos, I've done this. Place your hands, fingers down at the floor next to that club, and you'll see naturally it's going to line up more with the base of your fingers. Then wrap your hand around, thumb just down the right of centre. What happens with the club is at this angle, naturally, sits in that part of the palm, unless I start cranking my hand this way. Lots of people, certainly males of a certain age, they struggle to have that movement in their wrist. So by doing it here, makes it a little bit more natural for them to get the club back on the ground and put that movement in their wrist a little bit more subtly rather than cranking it that way, which for you and I mean, that doesn't feel that weird to do that, does it? I
always think this is a neat look. It looks neat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree, and people think that's right, because it's so natural. This feels so natural, where that is, I mean, it's quite an unnatural position, isn't it? And I agree, the neatness is something that they kind of hang on to as correct, don't they, I think. Good stuff, Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
Hitting the green, you don't need a chip and run when you're playing foursomes with me. You just make sure you hold a few more putts, eh?
And the team is disbanded. Right there.
Good stuff. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. Thanks for sending the swing. Speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching. Hello, Mark Cross Video. I've got Stephen Buzzer again. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
He's brought the beard. He's dropped the suit, but brought the beard. Everyone liked the suit in the live. Anyone who saw our live broadcast, he was the smartest man ever. He thought he'd come for a live broadcast on Sky, but he hadn't, just rocked up at my house while I was eating apples. We're going to look at another swing sent through the app, through the golf app. This guy has certainly some issues with where he swings the club and how he uses the face. And maybe that's the root cause, is maybe a little bit to do with the way he's gripping the club, which we're going to talk about. Let's give him some help. Let's get stuck in. Right, Steve, see the swing here. First thing I see is quite a lot of prep, isn't there?
A lot of prep. He's certainly doing a lot of thinking.
I can keep going.
Paid by the minute.
Now what I'm finding interesting, I don't mean